So now we will see that what are the main difference between the plant and animal cell. So first is structural wise, the cell wall is the main thing. Cell wall, a definite shell wall made up of cellulose is present in the plant cell, but it is absent in case of animal cell. Second is centrosome. The centrosome is not present in the plant cell but present in the centrosome over here. This one present in the animal cell but not present in the plant cell. Vacuoles, which are prominent, big ones. Okay, vacuoles are one or more concerned with excretion and secretion. So vacuoles are prominent, whereas vacuoles in this case are small and temporary. Plastids usually contains plastids, but this doesn't contain plastids. Quantitative difference may first of size wise, usually the cells of the plants are much larger with distinct outline. You can have a distinct outline of this thing, so there's a the size is bigger, whereas usually these are very small and less distinct boundaries. The cytoplasm over here is dense because maximum area is covered over here by the vacuole, so the cytoplasm becomes very dense, whereas here the cytoplasm is more granular. Sorry, the cytoplasm is not so dense because maximum area is covered by the vacuole, so it is not so dense. So cytoplasm is like spread out, and as such it's a larger one also, whereas here you can see everything is compressed, so dense because it's smaller in size. So cytoplasm is denser and more granular. In arrangement of cytoplasm, only a thin lining of the cytoplasm mostly pushed to the periphery. So here it is only a thin line pushed to the periphery, whereas over here cytoplasm fills almost the entire cell. So here the cytoplasm is only in the periphery, whereas here the cytoplasm in the entire cell. So that was the difference between the plant cell and animal cell. So we see that we also have a term called protoplasm. Since cytoplasm is the one which contains all the cell organelles except the nucleus. So if the cell organelle nucleus is not considered, then all the other parts come under the category of cytoplasm. Whereas if nucleus is also considered, then it becomes a protoplasm. So in the living matter, the total substance of the living cell, that is cytoplasm and the nucleus, is called as the protoplasm. So now we are going to see the different kinds of cells. Now the cells are going to be of two major kinds. So basically the one which was the older kind of a cell, which is called as prokaryotic, and the other one is eukaryotic, the new generation, new type of cell. So let's see them one by one. So first one is the prokaryotic. Pro बोल सकते हैं पोरो यानी पुराने जमाने का. So basically the pro is the prokaryotic cell is a term which is primitive. So primitive cell is called as prokaryotic. So it is prokaryotic, which is primitive, and the other one is eukaryotic, which is the modern one. Okay, so that is the prokaryotic, primitive nucleus, and the other one is eukaryotic, which is a true or complete nucleus. So meaning wise it is this way, whereas the difference is that the prokaryotic does not have a cell nucleus. So you can see if it is a prokaryotic cell, the prokaryotic cell के अंदर के जो nuclear membrane, that is the chromatin fibers, are just inside here like this, bundled up inside. So whereas यहाँ पे तो eukaryotic is a normal cell what we are having. So no well-defined nucleus in this case, whereas a well-defined nucleus with the nuclear membrane. A single length of only DNA present inside. There is a single length of DNA present inside, and here we know that several lengths of genetic material, chromosomes, containing the DNA bound around certain proteins. Prokaryotic has very small ribosomes. Here they got a larger ribosomes because proteins required is much more. And the prokaryotic, they do not have any other cell organelles. It doesn't have any cell organelles at all. So no mitochondria, nothing. It doesn't have any kind of other cell organelles. Where this one has got mitochondria, endoplazmic reticulum, and everything over here. So this is the difference between a prokaryotic cell and a eukaryotic cell. That is a primitive cell and the modern cell. Now we see about the every activity of the living organism is outcome of the cellular activity. So you're just trying to have some examples over here to tell you that what are the different activities a cell is normally doing. As such, each and every activity we can say it is doing, but still, just for the sake of understanding it better, we have the first thing as all organisms grow. So first thing is the growth of the organism is going to take place by the cell. The cell is due to the growth in the size and the increase in the cell number, increase in the cells, the growth or production of the new cells ke karan the growth takes place. So growth is because the size of the cell increases or the number of cells increases, that gives the growth of the cell, growth of the body. Second is repair. Repairing of any injured body, injured or regeneration of the lost part, like the tail of the lizard, is due to cell division. So cell division is the cause by which the repair is going to take place. Thirdly, movement of the body. Any movement of the body, like the animal is walking, we walking, running, jumping, or the feathers of the birds to fly, or the droppings or drooping of the leaves, drooping of the leaves get drooped because of the, as I told you, the vacuoles getting empty. And in plants, bending movement of the roots towards the water and the bending movement of the plants to plant towards the sunlight. The sunflower ka jo movement hai wo, everything is because of the cell. And closing and opening of the stomata is also the cause of function of the cell. The next is feeding and nutrition. We know all cellular activities which are going to take place, which are going to produce any proteins or which are going to produce any kind of nutrients, तो वो सब कुछ है वो cell करने वाला है. So sensory cells which are present in the tongue gives us the taste. Then the saliva is going to mix it up and form into the starch and everything. So everything, just fats को कैसे dissolve करना, proteins को कैसे synthesis करना, everything that is going to be done with the help of cells, because cells are going to produce a lot number kind of enzymes for doing all these jobs. Next is circulation of the blood. The movement of the movement of other fluids in the body are through forces set up by the contraction of muscles of the heart and other parts. So blood movement is by the contraction and expansion of the heart muscles. जिसके कारण blood is going to be flowing into the body. Respiratory gases are transported. It is the movement of the lungs due to which the respiratory gases are going to be transported by the blood, the respiratory vessels. So blood cells are going to do the job of transportation of the respiratory gases. The next is the body protects itself from disease germs with the help of the WBC. So the cells are, one of the kind of the cell is also the WBC, white blood cells, which are present in the blood, which is helping, which are the soldiers of our body. They are called as the, and producing antibodies and antitoxins to kill the or neutralize the effects of the germs. We can see, we can hear, we can smell, taste or feel. That is all done by the sensory cells. The cells which are sensed, they are related to the sense organs, are the ones which are going to help us to perceive things. We can see things, we can taste something, we can smell something. That all is going to take place with the help of the cell. So even the responses are going to be given by, so like if at all somebody pinches me here and I withdraw my hand, so the response which was generated was also done with the help of a cell. So the memory and the capacity to solve problems also due to the activity of the cell. We maintain our body heat, that is thermoregulation, by cell activity, and we cool it when hot or sweating from glands in the skin. So maintaining the body temperature also is going to be done with the help of the cell. So if we are feeling very hot, we start sweating. The sweat is generated by the cells. And if you are feeling cold, we start shivering. The shivering is also produced with the help of the cells. All organisms produce their young ones, so that is reproduction. Reproduction is also done with the cells. So production of the young ones of the same kind with the egg and the sperm formation and the fusion of the two, everything is done with the help of cells. So that is reproduction. In plants, the absorption of water and nutrients is through root cells. The stem cells conduct the food and water to different parts of this plant. So the roots are going to absorb the water from the soil and the nutrients from the soil, and then transport it upwards. Everything is going to be done with the help of cells. Light is entrapped by the leaf for photosynthesis. So that entrapment of the light by the chloroplast is also done with the help of cells. Flowers attract insect by their color contained in the petals or in the nectar secreted by the cells. So that is also a kind of the function where flowers are the attracting medium for the insect to come over there for pollination. So that is also done by the help of cells. The mango seed produces the mango plant and the hen produces the hen, and similarly transmission of the parental features from one generation to another generation, that is the hereditary structure, is done with the help of cells. So hence the transmission of parental features of the young ones is also dependent on what the germ cell, egg and sperm carry with them. So finally, there is not a single activity in the body of an organism which is not carried out by the cell. But cell of course are specialized for particular functions. So this is about the chapter cell. So we understand that cell is the structural and functional unit of the body. It is going to be existing from a pre-existing cells. We learned about the different organelles of the cell, and mainly we also understand that no doubt all the functions are done by a cell, but these cells are specialized. They are going to be of special kind for performing each and every activity. So that is about the chapter cell. We just end this particular chapter over here. Okay.